So here we are. Okay. So here we are, Whiskey Wolf, aka Rich.
Harris. I've got a second name.
Richard the Harris, the Whiskey Wolf. So basically, we've just come in, we've done a sound check, and it's all quiet. So and then just as we sit down, people start hitting the bag. So it's all good. It gives a little bit of atmosphere to our procedure, but that's okay. So Rich, your story is kind of interesting, being that you kind of like you like a lot of guys who we've had here have competed in the MMA and stuff. So, but you're more like I would say more of a lifestyle guy. Yeah. Where the kind of like what your training is really enriched, not enriched. See what I did there? Enriched your life, or you've made it part of what you do.
Yeah.
So-
I wouldn't say I'm a fighter.
Yeah. So where did it all start?
Well, the martial arts, I kind of started late with the martial arts, really. I was 20, and I started in Aido, which is kind of part of Kendo. So you have Kendo, Jodo, and Aido. So the Aido is with a live sword, and it's just all kata based. So it's kind of whereas Kendo is actually you're hitting each other. Aido is just drawing, cutting, put it away. So it's very ritualistic rather than it's not really it's dynamic, but it's not.
Did you just say
ritualistic?
ritualistic?
There's a lot.
We got a theme going on here.
Everything around it really is just all about mastery, I guess. And when you come in, there's a certain way of getting dressed, there's a certain way of sitting, a certain way of doing everything right for when you leave the hall. So it's just kind of taking on those little pieces and trying to perfect all the little details, which is kind of a...
So what made you find that? How did you find that particular art?
I guess everyone wants to be a samurai, don't they? I kind of... bit of a low-rent philosopher, I guess. So I kind of started reading like the Hagakure and kind of the Miyamoto Musashi books and films. So it's kind of the Baby Cart series and like Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman. So I kind of got into it through that, I guess. And there's kind of... I must have Googled it to find this place because it wasn't easy to find. It was in Watford. And yeah, just kind of went along as all old guys. I must have been probably like the youngest person in there. And yeah, so it was just kind of older. Most of them did Kendo as well, so this was more of their kind of meditation side of the Kendo.
The softer side.
Yeah. It's all solo drills. It's never against an opponent, and it's just moving with a sword.
Interesting. Do you still do any of it? Or?
No. I did it for about a year and a half.
Not got
so.
a sword at home that you'd like
I still got
go
the
in the
sword,
garden and
but-
freak the neighbours out?
No, it's just sat in the study,
Ah.
doing that.
And then from there, so how long did you do that for?
About a year and a half. And then I kind of decided maybe it's not entirely practical, kind of just with the sword, and I wanted to use my own body a bit more. So then I kind of went back to the films, I guess, and kind of the Bruce Lee movies, and went into Wing Chun.
Wing Chun, okay, yeah, cool.
Again in Watford, and I studied that for 10 years.
10 years, Wing Chun. So you got a good Pak-Sao Lop-Sa.
Yeah, can slap a forearm.
Slap a forearm.
That's about
I
it.
think that's a long time to study Wing Chun. So.
Yeah, it does.
And it's, again, that's very detail based, no? Is that, there's...
No, there's not many techniques, but kind of just how you use.
Yeah, but it's
how you
very,
flow them
like,
together.
if you're off a little bit,
Yeah.
it's kind of strict almost. Like,
Yeah.
if you're off a little bit, now you got to perfect that line, sort of thing, yeah?
It's because it's not strength based, so there's no like margin for error really. If your
Yeah.
elbow is off, it's going to get collapsed. So you can't kind of fake it. It has to be right for it to work.
Yeah. So you studied that for 10 years.
Yeah.
So you're what now 34?
not 34.
No.
Oh, yeah, in the story.
this timeline, in the story.
Yes. Yeah, but I started doing jiu-jitsu whilst I was still doing Wing Chun.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So there's kind of an overlap between the two.
And the reason for that was that because was you studying with Kevin?
Yeah, he was our Sifu. So he started jiu-jitsu a while ago. He was kind of one of the original Budokai members. So he was under Mauricio Gomez when he came to the country. And then when he got his purple belt, I think, he then kind of started to like introduce it to us a bit more as well, and to kind of get us to do seminars with Mauricio. So yeah, a few years once I was still doing Wing Chun, I was kind of aware of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But didn't kind of start studying it. I can't quite remember why I decided to sort of jump on the jiu-jitsu. Must have been when I moved back to Watford. I lived in Hemel for a bit. I think it was on EFN. I think I saw that there's a class started in Rickmansworth with a guy.
EFN.
EFN, you know, the old fight network, the forums.
Forums.
Yeah, kind of
There's a story.
Facebook.
EFN. Oh, I don't think I remember. I remember SFUK. Remember that one?
No.
Like that was back in the day. So you saw on a forum
Yeah.
on the internet.
Picture of some guys in the squash courts at the girls' school in Rickmansworth who'd just done a seminar with a guy called Nilton Garcia who'd just come across from Brazil. And I kind of was aware of jiu-jitsu through Kevin. So a bunch of us from our Wing Chun class decided to kind of go and join up. So there was me, Susan, Jim, and Tall Rich, remember kind of big Rich Watts?
Yes.
So we all kind of went along there and started in the squash courts. And then he opened a place in Camden and then shut the Rickmansworth class down. I think there was a little bit of kind of falling out with some of the people in the class. I didn't really get involved. But yeah, he kind of closed the Rickmansworth class, so it was kind of a bunch of us with nowhere to go. And I think that's when Adriana then contacted Zay and said there's kind of like 5-6 of us. We kind of need a home really. Do you want to start an icon class in Watford? And Adriana went and met Zay. Obviously Zay kind of smashed him up a bit, see what it was like, and then agreed to start Watford Icon.
Yeah, so we started that. I forget even when. I think at the time, pretty sure is when I had my gym in Harrow.
Yeah.
Same sort of time, I think. When we started the full-time gym in Harrow. So that would have been back in...
It's about 2010 time, I think.
Yeah, maybe that, yeah.
I know Icon was just starting, because when we came, it was still BTT.
Yes,
and it was kind of just doing that switch over to Icon.
Interesting. And yeah, so that would have been 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Nearly 9 years ago. So, and do you ever sort of wander back to the Wing Chun, or is it just straight jiu-jitsu now?
Not really. It's just jiu-jitsu now.
I mean, I've seen you don the gloves every now and then here.
Yeah.
Try and mix it up a little bit.
That's pretty terrible.
Get a little punch in the face.
That's not really my happy place.
Just do it, just so the gloves don't get...
Yes, they don't get dusty, I guess. It adds another bit to the jiu-jitsu, I guess. It's another dimension to what you're already doing, something else to think about.
Yeah. And so, whilst you're doing all this, like when I remember in Harrow, so the term Whiskey Wolf.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what you're known for now. Ish. Yeah. I mean, that's something that you're kind of, that was kind of, what I think is interesting out of it is it was born out of your training.
Yeah.
This little brand, and you got a bit of momentum now. You just said to me some dude in Japan's got one of your rash guards now.
Yeah, Okinawa, even out to Japan.
So it's a global little thing you got going on, and again, it fascinates me that you've kind of like you've run with it, and you've kind of get it. You got a lot of momentum within the training world, or because it's not necessarily just the jiu-jitsu world, is it? Because
No, it
you've
kind of
got
started off jiu-jitsu.
all sorts of things going on.
Yeah. It kind of started in Harrow, really. When we got the shower in Harrow, I think it's kind of where it all...
Well, I remember my version of it, yeah. My version, I think is some other people say it's a little different. And now that we're putting it out there, then maybe we'll get some offers of other versions. But my version is that we went to I believe we went to a tournament. I think you took someone's...
Rapper's Quest.
Yeah, you took Matt's, like... He entered and he couldn't do it, so you took his place, and someone else came with us. And I think
it was Reese. I think Reese was there.
Yeah, maybe Reese. But you both kind of like, you won a couple, lost a couple, didn't get any medals. It was a hard day at the office, and you kind of like I remember standing by the wall, and we're like, everyone's a bit like, a bit bummed out. And I said, like, thinking like, do you want to go like drown your sorrows? I said to you, you want to go get a drink, like drown your sorrows type of thing in that kind of way. And you stood there to my right, and you just pulled out a little hip flask, undone it, took a swig, done it up, put it away, and I'm like...
Did I even offer you something?
Nah. I said, dude, I know you might have done, you might have offered yourself. I said, dude, what's that? And you said, whiskey. And I'm like... What do you mean whiskey? He goes, oh, I never travel without whiskey, And you do it in such a way that I questioned
why did you know
why I didn't have any whiskey, yeah? And then, and that was that. And then we went about the day. We got home. We did this. We did that. And I think it was at the time you was like growing your beard, growing your hair, yeah? And then we was telling the story about. I was telling the story in the gym. In like a jiu-jitsu class or whatever, telling the story about, man, Rich is just walking around with whiskey everywhere he goes, but he don't travel without whiskey, what's going on? And then, I don't know how it all bounced around the room, but you was like a freshly washed up, like long hair with the beard, and I said, you look like the Teen Wolf. I said, he looks like the Teen Wolf, man. And it's like Richie Wolf or something like this. I think he was in my phone at first. It's like Rich Wolf, I said Richie Wolf, whatever, like Teen Wolf. And then someone said it, or I said it, someone else said, it's Whiskey Wolf, because he travels with the whiskey. It's I think before the Wolf incident, yeah, he was in my phone as Whiskey Rich, because you had the whiskey on you, right? And then the whole, because you look like freaking Teen Wolf on top of the bus doing a handstand, yeah? I said, man, look, he looks like Teen Wolf, and then it become Whiskey Wolf, and then you just
run with it.
You wrote that down, stored it.
There's so many ideas that kind of come out, especially that Harrow gym. There's so many stuff that gets knocked around. You just have to pick it up and see where you can use it, really.
Yeah. So and then you started like making some beard oils and
the beard oils and
soaps and stuff like this, and now you're running with the t-shirts and rash guards and stuff. So it's really a very organic business, and yeah. So what's your version of the story of how it all come about?
Well, the name, I think, is probably exactly as you just said. You got it. Someone said it was thrown around in there. I heard it, picked it up, wrote it down. Thought that'd be a pretty cool name. I think I was thinking of the barbershop stuff at that time, so it kind of fitted in well with the barbershop. Looking back, maybe doesn't fit in so well with kind of the sport environment, but who knows? That's just kind of just takes time, doesn't it? It'll fit in eventually. And getting back to the whiskey in the hip flask thing, I think that was a carryover from kind of the marathon running. So I always used to take whiskey with me for when I finished a race. It's kind of a bit better than ibuprofen and a Lucozade, really. So it kind of calms you down, a little bit of painkiller, and just sit and relax with a whiskey. So I kind of had that. I don't know
for the competition.
I'm not sure why I had it in my bag for the competition. I think
just because you never travel without whiskey.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's always good. It's always good to have some. Yeah. So from there, we just got the shower put in at Harrow as well. I got staff when we first started training in Rickmansworth. in the squash courts, and I remember it being such a horrible experience. I'd started upping my training more, so I was on the mats more. I went out looking for some soap, some antibacterial soap. Realised I couldn't find any anywhere. I went to like Body Shop and Lush. No one did anything that was kind of natural. I suffer from eczema, so I can't put a lot of kind of high street chemical type soap, especially things like Dettol and that sort of stuff on my skin, because it kind of gives me an allergic reaction. So I need a natural soap. No one really did it. I started looking for armbar soap, but it cost a fortune to import. So I thought I'd just try and start making my own. So I started making the soap at my house, bring it down the gym. People seem to like it there, so I kind of, well, maybe I've got some legs to start selling it on.
So you're saying your soap isn't tested on animals?
No, it's tested on you.
It's tested on us.
Yeah.
Tested on humans.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I test it on myself first, and if it works with me and my skin, it's going to work with other people.
And again, if you're looking for it like as a training aid, like to wash after training, no better place to product test it as it will is in a gym where people require it.
Yeah.
I think your soaps have only just got better and better and better. There's a few that I really like that just stand out from the others. You did a white one.
Yep.
Yeah, and the latest one you've done, which is like a fruity one. With what's in that one? What's that one?
I've done the matcha one.
Yeah, that one.
Green
That was
tea.
nice. Yeah, the green tea. That was good.
Did the one with Scramble, which was a yuzu soap, which is a Japanese citrus fruit.
Yeah, that was a nice one. Yeah, the lemon. Yeah.
But I've kind of tried to keep it pretty simple. So I only have two types of soap, the black and the white.
Yeah.
One's coffee, so it's got a good exfoliating scrub in it. The other one has got nothing in it. It's just white with the citrus in it. Grapefruit is kind of the main oil in that one. Both have the antibacterial blend of the tea tree, the eucalyptus, lime, so it kind of kills all the nasties.
So you went out looking for some soap and you've ended up a soap maker.
If you can't find it, you make your own, don't you? Kind of DIY. And then because I had a background in design, I just like making shit. So started doing the t-shirts, started doing the rash guards, shorts. Once I found a supplier, once I found a way of getting it made, just start designing more and more stuff.
Because that's I guess that's a trade, yeah, graphic design.
Yeah.
Because you're the guy that I come to when I want all my t-shirts done. I want a banner made. I want even the wall here. I had an idea of like 3 vinyl banners I wanted to do, but no real idea of how to send it to the printer, in what file, and you're the man that knows all that. And you redid all this for me, which is really cool. So you're pretty much my design guy. You good with websites and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You manage my website and all that kind of stuff. So again, it's kind of all kind of slots together, doesn't it? Almost, you know what I mean? So, which is a kind of cool, you know what I mean? And now you've been training jiu-jitsu, like your brown belt jiu-jitsu. So, I'm guessing you're not going to be one that leaves it at the brown belt. You're going to try and push.
No.
And get the black belt, right?
Yeah.
So, in your mind with your jiu-jitsu, how have you seen it change since when you started training, say in Rickmansworth, in just a small little place? Have you seen it? I mean, it's changed. I think the landscape of jiu-jitsu has changed quite a lot in recent years. What's your perspective on it? Because you've been around, like you're involved with not just our team. You got some athletes that you sponsor.
Yeah.
And some shows that you go on, or you help out with like design work and stuff. So, what's your scope on the landscape of jiu-jitsu here?
Well, it's obviously getting bigger and bigger, and also from the kind of the brand point of view, starting to get bigger brands involved in it as well. So that other people are kind of starting to want a piece of the action. When I first started jiu-jitsu, I think it was the same year that Scramble started. I think sort of kind of 2009, 2010. So just kind of seeing those guys grow to like this weekend with Polaris. massive show down in Cardiff with kind of the grapplers from all over the world coming to the UK, which is kind of great for us. Including a Whiskey Wolf guy fighting on the undercard.
Oh yeah, of course.
So you got Ben. So it's a nice showcase for me. You can get my rash guard on the stage as well.
That's cool, isn't it? Yeah. So that's again, it's I guess for me, it's kind of like this is the way I run my business. Is like studying jiu-jitsu or studying a martial art. You just chip away, turn up, chip away, and it just creates momentum, and then all of a sudden, oh, aren't you really lucky you've done?
Yeah.
But really, you've been like pushing for a good few years, good 10 years before anyone sort of sees the
kind of poking through
the soil.
I think my jiu-jitsu game's kind of like my business strategy, I guess. Just kind of hang in there.
Hold on.
Don't give up, and just try and capitalise on anything that kind of drops in your lap, really. So if you see something, kind of grab it and kind of go with it. But most of the time, it's just hang in there.
So do you have a vision for the Whiskey Wolf stuff, or you just literally seeing what opportunities come your way and you just roll with that bit, with that bit? You don't really have.
I think I'm still small and probably kind of intentionally small. I kind of keep all my batch sizes small. I don't over-order stock. I don't have a lot of things hanging around. I always want to make the next thing. Always got the next idea. So I don't really have that much of an overarching 5-year plan, 10-year plan. It's just see how it goes. Kind of keep it all organic. There's certain people that I want to work with, certain kind of things I want to do, but nothing kind of mapped out properly.
Because you got guys like competing in jiu-jitsu and MMA that use your products and support your products that you work with. You've also got is it roller derby?
Yeah, I got the roller derby.
How did you even? Did you go to roller derby one time?
Yeah, pretty much.
I really did.
I saw a poster for it in the LP Cafe in Watford.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd never really heard of it before. I'd seen like rollerball. I thought it was kind of like that. Turns out it isn't. So I went along to that. That was a girls' match. So I started talking to them. In fact, I sponsored a couple of the Hearts Royal Derby girls, and then from there, it spun out to a guy in Scotland called Phil, or goes under the name of Optimus Grime, who plays for Scotland, and he's also kind of started his own Glasgow team. So they're pretty new. So I sponsor them. They started last year. They're already making their way through the leagues now. He plays for Scotland. He also travels around the world doing boot camps, so teaching other people how to do roller derby and how like seminars really.
Is it derby or derby?
I don't know. I interchange it.
So that's kind of, again, that's cool. And you also work with you work with anyone, I guess.
Yeah.
But you got skaters on board. Have you got like some surfers as well? I've seen. Or?
Yeah, I got James. He's down in Devon.
So you got
again. He travels around the world.
You spread it. It's spread out quite far.
Yeah, kind of the activities that I enjoy, kind of watching and know people that do it. For me, it's all about the people rather than more than the activity, I guess. Yeah. It's kind of the people in the pack are the ones I kind of concentrate on. So I do get quite a lot of people messaging me, asking me how they can be part of the team or whatever. But I've kept it quite small because I'm quite small and I can't kind of sustain anything bigger.
Yeah.
And I want to try and have some sort of meaningful impact to the people that I do support. So if I spread it out too thinly, it kind of loses that. So a lot of the guys I've had since I started, so they've kind of been with me for like the four years of the Whiskey Wolf. So they've kind of grown as well, which is good. And they're starting to get bigger sponsors as well. So they started off with just me, and now they're kind of getting sponsored by like gi firms and kind of the bigger boys, the bigger boy sponsors, which is nice. I'm kind of a gateway sponsor. Really,
yeah, well, it's true. I always say to guys, if sometimes sponsors don't want to sponsor you because you've got no sponsors.
Yeah.
it's quite an interesting quagmire, but
I think especially if you're a big brand, then it's quite a risk because
yeah,
they're putting
this
their
guy's
name
got no
on-
sponsors.
Yeah.
But if you got a couple that it may be, they're not even, even if you're just helping out in a minute way,
Yeah.
it sometimes can attract. Oh, why has he got some? Why has he got that
Well,
one?
someone trusts him with their brand.
Their brand,
so
yeah.
Maybe I'll trust him
Vice
with my
versa.
brand.
Yeah, cool. I mean, and you've. I mean, it seems like you're helping quite a few people, not a load, but and the people that you are helping are quite, loyal to the brand, whatever. Because I think it's got like a bit of a quirky coolness to it. Like you said, the whiskey maybe doesn't the whole whiskey element of it doesn't fit in, but I don't necessarily think people think of it that way.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it's like you got the whiskey wolf because it just it just sounds cool, if I do say so myself, right?
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean?
It doesn't say anything, which I guess is kind of a good thing for me because it means I can go into any other sport or any other market. 'Cause it doesn't mention jiu-jitsu, it doesn't mention martial arts at all. So
it's quite
not
ironic
really-
the fact that you don't produce any whiskey.
No, I've got a hip flask.
But he is open for sponsorship
Yeah.
of any kind of whiskey. It's funny. I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
If you, because most of the time we don't think about nothing. We just, we all rock up here and train, and we just, and like I've been training. Like someone said to me the other day, how long have you been a black belt? And I'm like, and then it dawns on me, oh wow, I've been doing this that long, and it's like, well, maybe I should be a bit better than I am. But we don't necessarily think about it. So
No, it's just what you're doing today. What
when
you're
you
doing
do
tomorrow.
think about it, it's kind of funny when you kind of put the timeline together. It's kind of interesting and funny how it all sort of pieced together.
Yeah.
Almost, it's a cool story. It's a funny story, not funny, but funny as in like, the circumstances, the coincidences, how it all just built on itself, and here you are, still doing it, and getting stronger and stronger with it. I think that's really cool. I mean, because
that's the good thing about like a place like this. Though. There's so many different people in it that it breeds creative stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's quite a few people like from this gym that have gone off and created something out of here.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, and we have got talking about breeding. We have got a future podcast coming. That'd be a special.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's the. I had someone come in the other day. Like I said, it's the beauty of the gym. There's so many different people here.
Yeah.
Like Tommy's story where he got a job and he got a house. So he moved. He got another job because he's in a different line of work, and it all really came from here.
Yeah.
Came from just training on the mat and just being around an array of different people who are willing to help you, like you're a part of their family, which is I think really cool. Like I was saying, a guy come to the gym the other day and he's like, I think he bought like a troubled kid, say. And I'm like, we don't really care.
No.
If he wants to train, I don't care what he's done or what he's going to do. Someone's going to steal my gloves, I'm good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, that's it, because most of the people, if you line them up, especially all the new guys, I don't know what they do.
No, there's
It's
not a
only
lot of
over
talking involved either.
only a few, a bit of time goes past, you start asking questions, and, they tell you, but we don't really care.
No.
And then if it does work out and we do need something, I'll put my hand up and say, right, anyone a lawyer, anyone can fix a car, anyone can do this, and anyone can do that.
Most of the time you don't even have to ask because if someone's a lawyer, they'll notice that you need a lawyer.
Yeah.
And they'll say, I'm a lawyer, I can help you out. I'll help you out.
Yeah, no, it is kind of fascinating. And that's, again, the reason why I wanted to do these. Just to get the stories out there and just show the array of different people that come. Because, like I say, your story is cool because, like you said, you're not a fighter.
No.
You're not a fighter, and you don't profess to be one, and you're not trying to because some people come to the gym and they kind of come in and want to pretend that there's something they're not. And I don't think you're going to last, especially in a gym like ours. You're just not going to last because you're not. I think most important factor of people here is everyone's genuine, regardless of if they, are tough or fight or any of that stuff. As long as you're genuine, I think you'll be welcomed in with open arms, I believe.
You get found out way too quickly. Otherwise, if you're trying to pretend you're something that you're not, or
Yeah.
trying to pretend you're a tough guy, words mean next to nothing.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you get on the mat, you haven't got anything but what you bring with you, really. So you get shown up pretty quickly. So there is no. There's banter, but there's not kind of overinflated like ego banter. There's no one trying to shout each other down, because everyone kind of knows the hierarchy. It's pretty obvious kind of who is better than who, and so none of that really matters.
Even then, it's like, yeah, I'm better than you, you're better than me, but maybe
You
not
still learn from
tomorrow,
each other. Yeah.
and maybe not this morning, maybe not this afternoon. And I always say is if you are that person that, I mean, that's how I've grown the team, because if you think, oh, I'm the best guy in the room, I need to leave and go train somewhere else, you're going to end up probably by yourself, because my philosophy is really, if I'm the best guy in the room, then I need to help everybody else out to bring them up a level, or up to my level, say, so we can keep this growing, and so I get better, because there's no point me just wandering around the room going, hey, I'm the best guy here.
But you're not going to be best at everything.
Exactly. But even so, I don't have to, there's no point trying to stamp the authority.
No.
Because then you just breed a bunch of dicks.
Yeah.
And you're not breeding, you're not producing a champion mindset, I don't think. Because if you're just a selfish person, then you won't become a long-standing like champion of a martial art, or even like to get a bit deep, but a champion in life. You're not, if you're not helping people up.
No.
Then you're just
it all dies with you as well. If everything is based around one person, and that person leaves, there's nothing else. If you kind of build a team, build a family, then everyone helps each other, so it becomes an entity rather than a person.
Yeah, no. So, and I think I think we're getting there with the gym here now and the team. We get a really good array of people, and we're getting stronger and stronger, which is good. And with your help as well, like you help us with stuff, and it's only going to get better and better, I think. So, yeah, cool. I mean, have you got anything else to say?
Really?
I was a bit surprised with it, because I thought you wouldn't, because you was a bit shy about coming on doing a podcast. And I thought, you won't really say much. It's going to be hard to get it out of you. But I think we got the story across, and we'll wrap it up. I mean, especially now that everyone's left the gym and not making any noise.
Nice and quiet.
So it'd be a bit weird now. But if I think of any other stories I want to get Rich in for, I will get you in.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a few like day trips out that we've done that you were part of, or even like some of the tournaments, like the one that comes to mind where you guys went down to Torquay.
Yeah.
If there's any funny things that went on down there, or anything like that, we'll get you back in. But thanks for sitting down with me today and going through the birth of the Wolf
problem.
and where it's gone and where it's going.
Thank you for giving me the name, and thank you to all the guys that kind of take the name on the mats into the cage. So like Charlie, I sponsored Charlie since I started, and so he's been taking it around the world as well with him. So it's got to have a lot of gratitude to those guys for doing that.
Cool. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.